Hi, everybody. Welcome to Masterclass number 3, Frame It and Define It. So my name is Sarah Mandracina, and I am a sales director with Mary Kay. If you are joining me live, please say hello so that I know you're here. And of course, I would like to make sure everybody can hear me, and that is all working. So if you are here, say hi in the comments. Let me know that you can hear me. And of course, if you catch us in replay, type replay. All comments will be entered into the drawing for tonight, and we'll show you what that is later. So all comments, all questions, as many times as you want to comment or question, your name will go into the drawing. So that will make it a lot of fun. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you want to catch the previous versions of the Masterclass, you can always go back into this group and watch the replays on Masterclass 1 and 2. Also, if you would like the documents that I have shared in each of the master classes, reach out to me, send me a private message, and I will make sure you receive those documents in my weekly Blended Beauty by Sarah email that will go out this week. I'll make sure you're on that, and you can receive the actual PDF documents that goes through all the different face shapes and detailed information that you can look at for yourself for reference. Okay, let's get started. So tonight we're going to talk about brows, framing your face, how to lose 10 pounds, and how to give yourself an immediate facelift. Let's talk about brows first because they're kind of the fastest, okay? And then secondly, we're going to talk about how to highlight and contour your face easily, simply, and beautifully. Highlighting and contouring can sometimes be very intimidating, so we're going to kind of take all of that out of the picture tonight so that you can do it simply in your own bathroom and see the results that it does for all the celebrities that you see do it all the time. So welcome. Hey, Jen. Hey, Stacy. So tonight we are going to start with brows. So Mary Kay has a couple different brow products. If you're joining me live and if you are playing with me live, I'm going to be using the Mary Kay Precision Brow Pencil. Let me show you what this looks like. So this comes in multiple different shades. This one is brunette. I have very dark hair. I could kind of go between the brunette and dark brunette, but it's always a better rule of thumb to go a little lighter than darker. When my hair is freshly colored, I tend to wear the dark brunette for a couple days, or I blend the two. But in general, the rule of thumb is stick with a lighter color than a darker color. Okay, so the Precision Brow Pencil is very tiny, 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 tiny tip. So you're able to get very small hair-like strokes. So if you have a hard time doing your brows, this is a great tool for you because it's really easy to make the brows look natural because you won't mess up because the strokes that you apply it with won't be too thick. So let's talk about brows. As you can see, this side of my face does not have my brows done. This side does. So you can see the difference already. Let me just look at you straight in the camera. This side has no brows done. This side does. And let's first talk about how do you shape your brow. Now, my brows, unfortunately, are really, really thin due to overplucking in college. But if you have beautiful, thick brows, you still need to clean them up. And I still need to clean my brows up, too, because I have a lot of blonde hairs that come through here and through here. So what you want to do first is you take your brow pencil, or you can take any kind of pencil or brush in that fact, and you want to hold it at the base of your nose and hold it perpendicular to the base of your nose straight up. That is where your brow should start. So what that means is anything beyond that should be cleaned up. So anything beyond that, like right through here, is where you would clean it up, get it waxed, get it if you pluck your own brows or if you do threading. Now, the second place is if you have an arch or you want to have more of an arch, your arch, if you hold it at a 90-degree angle, okay, that is where your arch should be. The highest point of your brow should be at the base of your nose, and you hold it at a 90-degree angle. Now, my brows don't really have that beautiful arch. They kind of have more of just a regular shape, they don't have like the pointed arch, but if you want that pointed arch, that's where the tip of that pointed arch would be. Thirdly, and this is where I think most people struggle the most and where they mess up the most with their brows because they don't realize where the brow should end. Now, if you hold the pen or pencil perpendicular to the base of your nose at a 180 angle, okay, and you hold it there, you can see, look at the difference. Do you see? Let me pull my hair back so you don't see a shadow. Okay, you can see right there how much brow is missing on my face. You can see that, right? There's like at least an inch. Okay, so you can see over here where I have made it meet the brow pencil. I made it fade a little bit on the end so it's not so dark, but you want to extend your brows. The reason why is your brows are the picture frame to your face. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means if you were to hang a beautiful painting on the wall without a picture frame on it, it could even be a Picasso. You might have people come over for a dinner party and never even really notice its beauty, never really notice its brilliance. They might even not even notice it's a Picasso. It's because there's no frame on it. And as soon as you put a frame on it, it stands out. It brings everything forward. It shapes it. It gives it dimension. So the same thing with your eyebrows. Your eyebrows are the picture frame to your beautiful face. Now, with that being said, I also want you to take note that this brow right here that's done, you can see how this one looks more lifted and more up, whereas this one doesn't. So let's go ahead and show you how to start putting these brows on so you can kind of get an idea of how to apply them. So what you want to do first is you want to take your little eyeliner brush and brow brush, and it's a little spoolie on the end, and you're going to brush your brows up and away, up and out and up and away. Okay, that's the first step you do to make sure they're all going in the right direction. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to kind of give yourself an outline. Just kind of go right underneath your brow, the whole shape of it, and give you soft, small strokes all the way through. And as you see, I just extended my brow. My brow is now the length that it should be. I didn't go as dark on the end, but I extended it. Now I'm going to go back through and give hair-like strokes in an upward-outward motion up through the front of my brow. And I'm doing just small little dashes, as you can see, small little upward dashes to give me some shape right through here, because I need to bring my brows in more, because like I said, if you hold the pencil, I was missing some hairs. So I needed to bring mine up and in a little bit to give my brow a little bit more thickness that it needs. Most of us have hairs that are missing in our brows. Most of us have some spots that need a little touch up. Okay. Now, if you get some on your skin, you can just wipe it off with your finger. Now, what you want to do is this brow pencil is a retractable pencil. So it's great. It's easy to use. You don't have to worry about sharpening it. It always stays with a skinny tip. Now, once the brow is on, now look at the difference. You can see how it now looks more pulled up. The thing about brows is to keep in mind that they are sisters, not twins. So what does that mean? Both brows will never be identical. They will not, you can spend all day making them try to match. You're never going to make them match. One brow might be slightly up a little bit. One brow might be down a little bit, like a smidgen. Only you are analyzing it to death. So don't do that. Your brows are sisters, not twins. So don't try to make them identical, okay? They're not going to be identical. And when you do the brow pencil, you could stop there. You can leave it like that. It's a great everyday, easy application of your eyebrows. You can see how it immediately gives you a facelift. So here you are. You don't have to go into the knife anymore. We have an immediate facelift with a 2-second pencil giving your brows, because you just shaped your face and defined it. So that's step number 1 with your brows. Step number 2 would be, let's talk about if you wanted to amp them up a little bit. Let's say you're going out for the evening and you want to give yourself a little bit fuller brow, or even if it's not for evening, you just want a fuller brow for daytime. It's just a classic example for me because my brows are so thin. Now, somebody asked me a question. Yes, I do not wax my brows, Jen. I actually am a daily plucker. I pluck my own brows because I have very few hairs. I just have to clean them up under here. So you do want to clean up your hairs through here and right through here. So that's what I do personally, because I hate having to wait that time for the brow hair to grow in. So that's what I need to do. That's what I personally do. But because I don't have a whole lot of brow hair to manage, it doesn't get so unruly. That's why I do it that way. If I did have more brow hair, I would definitely be getting them waxed or threaded. So those of you who have fuller brows, lucky you. I know it might be a little bit more maintenance, but your brows are beautiful, so take care of them. So next what I'm going to do now is show you how to use the volumizing brow tint. This is a great product for me because I don't have a lot of brow hair. And, let's say you wanted to go out in the evening and you wanted to make at the end of the day, for example, and let's say you wanted to just kind of touch up your face, touch up your brows. Maybe you want a little bit bolder brow for evening, or just in daytime. It doesn't have to be just for evening. I'm saying that for evening because sometimes people want more at certain times of the day. So I'm switching to my cream color brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm going to clean up my brows pretty much. So I'm going to take a little bit of my concealer. I use light beige, and I'm just going to go right underneath my brow, with my concealer. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm chiseling out my eyebrow, okay? So I'm just going, you can kind of see how that is just chiseled out more. And I'm just cleaning up under there and making it really sharp. This is a really great tip for those of you who have those gorgeous brows. And I can think of a couple of you that I would just love to, I wish you were sitting next to me because you'd be the perfect example to demonstrate this on. But if you have these beautiful full brows, trying to see if any of you are on, you would be a perfect candidate to try this technique, especially to just really shape out your brow more. You can also define it by putting a little bit of that concealer right above your brow. And I'm just talking a very small amount, okay? Just a very, very small amount. You can kind of see how it gave me some more dimension there. And of course, this is catch-up. So I'm going to take my beauty blender, okay, my beauty blender sponge. And this might look different to you because it is coming out very soon, this little guy. So you will see this soon, sneak peek. I'm just going to blend that concealer just to give my brow that defined shape. So you can kind of see the difference between how this one looks more defined. Now, of course, the makeup isn't blended in completely yet because I did touch up, the brow area, but just it gives me some more shape and definition. So now when I go in with my brow tint, I scraped off the brow tint on the end of the bottle first. The reason I did that is because I want to make sure I don't put too much on. I can always add more, but taking away is a little bit more challenging. And this is the brush that comes with the brow tint. It looks like a little mini mascara brush. And I'm just going to go same direction in an upward, outward motion, starting in the front of my brows. And I'm going to swipe this all the way through. Now, here's a trick. This product, the brow tint, is a volumizing brow gel tint that has color to it. So yes, it's not clear. It does add color. It's great for covering up gray hair in your brow. So if you struggle with that and you need a little bit of coverage because you find that your brows are getting a little bit of gray sometimes, this is a great option for you to control those gray hairs. Because guess what? We don't want to keep plucking them out because then you're going to have my problem where you have lots of holes in your brows where you have missing hairs that don't grow back. So this is a great option. Now you can see the difference. Let me look straight on. You can see the difference between this brow. This has the pencil and the tint. This one just has the pencil. Okay, so you can see, can you all see the difference in the two different brows? This one looks thicker, slightly thicker and fuller and just more shapely. So you can see how just adding a little bit of that brow tint really gives me some more definition. And if you have full brows, what this brow tint will also do is it will condition them and keep them tame. So those of you who have those luxurious thick brows, or even curly hair, sometimes the brows get curly and you need to have some control to it. So this is a great product for that. But here's the thing. This product, the volumizing brow tint, it needs hair to stick to. So if you don't have eyebrows, this would not be the ideal solution for you. You really need to use a pencil. If you don't have brow hair, it needs hair to stick to. So if you are somebody who is really struggling with the brow area, the pencil is your first choice. Now, if you're a blonde, we do have colors for blondes as well. If you're blonde, we have a blonde pencil. We have a dark blonde pencil. I'm using brunette, and I'm using the brunette brow tint. And there's also a dark brunette, and there's also black brown. So we have colors for all different shades of skin and hair color. And again, the rule of thumb is the lighter shade is, if you're not sure where to go, ask your Mary Kay consultant to help you. But going a little bit lighter is generally a better rule of thumb to going darker. Okay. Now, my thought and theory is everybody needs to have at least 2 bottles of this brow tint. The reason why is you need one for your brows and you need one for your hair. So the reason why is because, like I said, it sticks to hair. And I have very dark hair, and because of that, my gray hairs come through very, very quickly. I just had my hair colored, I think it was last week, and I'm already seeing some right through here. I'm so annoyed. So what I do is I keep the dark brunettes in my bathroom for gray hair coverage. And you won't really be able to see this right now, but what I do is, for some reason, all those gray hairs pop up like right around here. So I just paint this right in my hairs, right wherever I see it in my hairline. So that way, when I am doing all these videos with you, I'm not seeing my skunk hair. So that's a really great tip too, and it lasts a long time. Of course, you can use the same jar that you use on your brows if it matches your hair color, but my hair is dark, so I have to go a shade darker on my hair. So that's just another great tip for you. These are great. They're only 14. They last a really long time, but I hope you can see the difference. Can you see how it really lifted my face, putting that brow tint on? Now let's talk about highlighting and contouring. It's one of my favorite things because I think a lot of people are intimidated by highlighting and contouring, and it doesn't have to be. And I think a lot of the reasons why people are intimidated by it is because, we see celebrities doing it, and we see a lot of stripes, a lot of lines, and very heavy looking highlighting and contouring. Here's the thing. We're not in Hollywood, we're not celebrities, and we're just not in that crowd, right? So we want our makeup, and really theirs should look natural too. It's just their preference, and it looks scary in person. So if you want to highlight and contour, it doesn't have to be intimidating. It doesn't have to be something that you have to be nervous about doing. And I'm just realizing I don't have one of my brushes here. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to highlight and contour with our Mary Kay Latte and Glazed Highlight and Contour. This is our highlight and glaze right here on the end, other side here, right here. And they are powder highlight and contours. You can use highlight and contours with concealers, lighter foundations, darker foundations. But to be honest with you, I think this is the easiest way to do it. It's the most simple and fastest way to do it. If you're going to go to town on your face, then yes, by all means, you can get out your darker foundations and concealers and start striping away. But let's be honest, most of us are busy women, and we would love to give ourselves a more chiseled look and have 10 pounds less on our, give us a more slimmer look, but we don't want to spend 15 minutes doing it, right? So that's what we're going to do. Now, one thing we're going to do is we're going to use your Mary Kay cheek color brush. I don't have that brush in front of me. I grabbed the wrong one, but the Mary Kay cheek brush is the one that has a little dimple in it, and it's one you would use for your Mary Kay cheek color. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to give you, I'm going to show you how to do it with that brush, but I'm going to also show you how to do it if you're nervous and you want something simpler, how to do it with an all over shadow brush, because basically the concept is the same. This is where you contour. You contour under your jawline, you contour on the sides of your nose, you contour where, like, right through here, or some people right here, and your jawline, okay? And the reason why is I want you to think about contour like wearing a black dress. When you wear a black dress, the reason you may be wearing that black dress is because you want to look smaller. You want to look slimmer. You want to look more sleek, right? You want to look more chiseled. So wearing your black dress is like wearing contour. You're contouring the parts of your face that you want to bring in, okay? You highlight the parts of your face. It's like wearing a white dress. And sometimes we don't want to wear a white dress because it may make us look a little fuller than we want to look. But the highlighting is kind of where you want to apply the highlighter, is where you want to bring things forward. You want it to pop more. So highlighting is going to be down the center of your nose, in the middle of your widow's peak, which is right here in between the tips of your lips, your chin, in between your brows, above your brows, and your brow bone. Okay, so let's get started. Let me show you how to do this. So I'm going to show you, I want you to pretend I have my Mary Kay cheek brush. Let me look real quick to make sure I didn't leave it in my bag. No, it's not there. Okay, so I'm going to just use this brush first. This is a great way to start if you're a little nervous. I'm using the Latte Powder Contour. Okay, and if you are a bronze beauty, we do have a darker one. It's called Cocoa, and the cocoa color, let me show it to you, would be like this. The cocoa color is much darker. The cocoa and the honey glazed would be the two highlight and contours that would be beautiful for darker skin. Dark beige to bronze skin that would be what you would use, okay? Everybody else, ivory to beige, light beige to medium beige, you would use the latte and the latte and the glazed. Now, let's just touch on bronzer a little bit, okay? Bronzer is actually not the same as contour. So let's just talk about that real quick. Bronzer is one of my favorite things to use, but bronzers usually have a little bit of shimmer to them, okay? So if you're using bronzer to give you a healthier glow to your skin, and you're using bronzer to, if you're fair like me and you want more color to your skin, you can use it like on your cheeks. You can use it where the sun would naturally kiss you, down your nose. You know, you can use it in places like that. You can even, yes, you can do the 3 that you probably have heard about, but it's not the same as highlighting and contouring. So I want to just make sure you understand the difference. If you're going to use bronzer, you can just do it first if you want a little lift in your color. And for somebody like me, bronzer is a good idea because I'm so fair. Now, let's talk about how to apply the contour now. Let's pretend I already have bronzer on. And if you had your cheek color brush, what you would do is you would take your cheek color brush and you would apply the contour right through here. If you look at your earlobe, I want you to find your earlobe. This is where you're going to find your earlobe. It hangs down here. And I want you to just go right above it, right before the entrance of your ear. And that's where your jaw starts. That is where you're going to contour. So if you don't know where to start, that's a really great indicator of where to start, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with my skinny little Oliver shadow brush, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and contour a line right here. I'm going to draw it pretty dark so you can see it, okay? Now, here's the thing about highlighting and contouring, especially contouring. Yes, I have a line on my face, okay? You can see the line on my face. It's already sculpting out my face. You are going to blend it. So I'm going to blend this up. So the reason why I used this brush, and like I said, I would typically use my Mary Kay cheek brush because it's a great tool to use the highlighting and contouring technique. But I'm using this tool for you right now also because a lot of people are nervous and this can give you a skinnier line. I think you can have some more control. So just an idea, okay? I'd like to give you options, and some of you have this brush at home. So I like to give you ways that you can use your Mary Kay brushes in multiple different ways, okay? Let's think outside the box. So you can see how I blended that in a little bit, okay? Now I want to do my other side. I'm going to do my other side over here. And basically, I'm just going to find the underneath my jawline and draw that line back and forth. Back and forth, just like that. And I'm just going to blend it up. Now, having a larger brush to blend with would be ideal. Taking that cheek color brush to blend it would be the ideal situation, okay? So I'm just going to use my foundation brush a little bit there to help me blend it, okay? So now what we're going to do is now that I have my contour, and you can kind of see, can you already see how it gave me more, it gave me more like made my face go in more. It gave me more that kind of a look, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour my nose. And I'm going to use my Mary Kay eye smudger brush, okay? And I'm using a latte. I'm going to go down the sides of my nose because you want to make your nose look smaller in some cases, right? Some of us want our nose to look smaller, okay? So this is where I'm going down the sides of my nose. You can see the lines, right? You can see the lines right there. And I'm just going to take that same brush and buff them. Okay, back and forth to break up the line. I'm blending it, okay? I'm blending out that line right there through my nose. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour right through here. Right through here. Again, I would typically use my Mary Kay cheek brush. I don't know how I lost that between my bathroom and here, but somehow it's lost. Okay. So there's the contour. And then also the other spot you can contour is either your hairline, like right through here, or in some cases, if you maybe have a square face, let me pull up my diagram for you too. It'll be a little bit easier for you to see. I'm going to screen share. 1 second. Let's see here. Let me get you my diagram so you can see. 1 second. Let's see here. Okay. Simple. Here we go now. There it is. Okay. There we go. So here is the different face shapes that we talked about before. They make this larger so that we can get it on your screen, a little larger. There we go. Okay, so you can see the different face shapes you're going to apply the contour in different spots, because the idea of contour is to give your skin that more oval look. So if you don't have an oval face, the idea behind it is to give your skin a more oval look. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and keep contouring our face. I'm going to put myself back on here so you can see me. Okay, there we go. And what we're going to do now is, let me remove that. So what we're going to do now is, if you have more of a square face, you're going to contour like more through here, for example. You don't ever contour here, but you can contour more here, and you can contour right here through your hairline. It's a really popular spot to contour. Again, I would be using my cheek color brush for this typically to blend this and make it a lot faster and easier, but like blending it down towards my forehead a little bit to make your forehead look smaller. Okay, now what we're going to do is let's talk about highlighting, because highlighting is my favorite thing. Highlighting, I think, even if you're going to skip contouring, everybody can benefit from highlighting. Okay, I'm glad you like the tips, ladies. Thank you. So highlighting can be done in various different ways. So those of us who like a little shimmer, the glazed highlighter does have a little shimmer to it. Okay, so you know what? Just hang on 1 second. I have to get that brush. I'm so sorry. It's right. I can grab one right here. Okay, I'm so sorry. I can't do this without the brush. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to highlight my brow bone. You always use highlighter in your brow bone, and I'm going to highlight my cheeks. So the first thing I'm going to do with my cheeks is take my Mary Kay cheek brush, and I'm just going to, if you smile, right here's the apple of your cheek. That's where your cheek color is going to go. But I'm going to go right above that area. I'm going to go right through here with the glazed highlighter, right through here. Okay, and you can see it kind of shimmery, right? If you don't like shimmer on your face because maybe you are of the wiser years and maybe you have some texturized skin through here that you don't want shimmer, here's a great tip. You can highlight your skin using pressed powder. So in my compact, you'll see right here next to my highlighting contour, I have a very light pressed powder. This is our lightest one. It's Ivory 1. So I'm going to do it on this side. I can highlight my face with my pressed powder on this side of my face just to show you the difference, because I don't want any sparkle. Okay, so it's still giving me the same effect of brightening my face without adding the shimmer. But I like a little shimmer, and I don't think this ages me at all. So I like using this on my face. However, I do not like using any shimmer when I highlight my nose. So when I do the nose, when I use the brush, I'm going to use the eye smudger brush again. I'm going to use the powder down my nose. Another thing you could use would be the Mary Kay mineral powder. So if you have mineral powder that's a couple shades lighter than your skin, you want to go like 2 shades lighter. You can do the same thing in this. And this is basically our lightest shade of mineral powder, Ivory 0.5. You can just go down your nose with the powder. And the reason I chose it to do this way is because I don't want any shine added to my nose. I don't like a shiny nose. So, you know, one of the things that you can do is continue to apply your highlighter with a powder instead of actually using the shimmer. Now, if you notice, I stopped right before the tip of my nose. I don't want the tip of my nose to look large. I don't want my nose to look longer. So I'm not adding a tip right there. I'm stopping before my tip to add my highlight. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to also highlight through here. I'm going to go ahead and use the powder to do that because, again, I personally, I'm actually going to do it so that you can see what I'm doing, and then I'll blend it. Think of it like firecrackers coming out from between your eyes. You're going up like this, like a fanning motion, up like this. Okay? The reason why I'm doing that is because I want you to see how to do it. It's just like little lines shooting up. Now, if you want, you could certainly use the other highlighter to do that. But I personally think it looks more natural and more beautiful to use a matte option. Another thing you can use to do that with would be a matte eyeshadow. So if you have my favorite eyeshadow, Biscotti, which is a matte shade, or even Blossom would work too. And if you're a darker skin tone, the Sandcastle would be beautiful for this. But basically any of these matte shades, the light matte shades on the bottom would be a great option to use as a highlighter on your face. So you could use the Biscotti, if you have that color, through here if you want it to, shooting up through your brows. Just an option, okay? I like to give options when we talk about these things, because it doesn't always have to be a one way or a one fit all type of scenario. But if you want simple and easy, and just you're the kind of person who's like, I want to know where my things are. I want it in the case. I want my highlight and contour to be what it is. Then you are going to love the highlight and contour powders. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and apply the glazed above your brows. You always want to put it above your brows because, again, it helps that lift that we talked about. We're going to go ahead and do that right through here. And then we're also going to add a little pop right here, which is called your Cupid's bow. Right in between the tip of your lips, you add a little pop of highlight. Now, of course, when you're doing your eyeshadow, you always highlight your eyebrow brown, right? So since we talked about defining our brows, I'm going to go ahead and pretend I'm going out tonight. Let's pretend, and I want to add a little pop of highlighter to my brow. I can use the glazed and just go right through here and add that to my brow bone. You can use your Biscotti. You could also use any of the shimmery tones, like let's see here, Moonstone or Crystalline or Candlelight would also be really pretty. So if you want a little shimmery tone of a highlighter, here's Candlelight. I love Candlelight. You can put that on your brow bone to make those brows pop. And it's also going to make your eyes look more open and more wide. So I'm going to apply just right here on my brow bone, right through here, just a little touch up. So if you're going, if you have your makeup on and you're going out and you want to just do a little pop of touch, you could, redo your brows with the brow tint, add a little bit of highlighter right below your brow, and you're ready to go for the night. And you can also use it just to make sure your makeup is blended, you didn't bump anything, and there you go. You can see how my eyebrows are, underneath my brows are a little bit shimmery now. Again, if you don't like shimmer under your brows, you would use a matte tone eyeshadow, Biscotti, Sandcastle, Blossom. Those will all be great choices for you. So let's see here. Have I forgotten any places to highlight? Oh, yes. The one place that you probably haven't thought about highlighting is the chin. So what we're going to show, let me show you what we do with the chin area. So I'm going to draw it so you can see. I'm going to use powder because, again, I don't want any shine on my chin. I just don't like oily looking skin. I'm going to think of your chin like this. Okay, I'm doing this on purpose so that you can see what I mean. I don't really do it this way necessarily when I'm doing it, but I'm drawing a triangle on my chin. Think of a triangle in your chin. That's where you want to highlight. Let me get a brush to actually apply the highlight. You could use your blending sponge and apply it. You could use your cheek color brush that I had to go run and get. This is an older Mary Kay cheek brush. Okay, you can use the Oliver shadow brush, whatever works for you. But again, I like using a matte here because I don't want my chin to be shiny. Okay, so you can see how I am looking shimmery on the cheek area right here, but on this side, I don't look as shimmery, right? So I'm going to make this side match just for demonstration purposes. So we all have the same look. So now that my highlight and contour is done, and I made sure everything is blended, always blend up like this to break up the lines, because you don't want your contour going too low, and then obviously it's going to, what will happen is it will make your face look more pulled down, which is not what we want. So what we're going to do now is, let's say our face is done and mine's done. It's time to put your cheek color on. So you use your Mary Kay cheek color brush, and I'm going to just go into my blush. I'm going to use, I'm using Hint of Pink and Rogue Rose. And let's talk about where you put that blush. Smile at yourself in the mirror. And right here is the apple of your cheek. Okay, if you have a fuller face, your apple might be fuller. But there's a rule of thumb out there that used to exist where you would put your 2 fingers and you don't want to go any further than your fingers. I don't love that rule because, first of all, some of our faces are shaped differently. So if you smile to put your blush on, you will always get it right. You'll never put it down too low. If you put it down too low, obviously it's going to pull your face down. So that's the rule of why you do it this way. So if you smile, right here's the apple of your cheek. Okay, you can just pop it there if you want it to, but you can also bring it up through your cheekbone. Okay, so it's up to you how you want it, but you can just pop it and then blend it up through your cheek. Okay, just like that. Isn't that pretty? You can see how it adds a lot of brightness to the skin and to the face. And I'll make this side match. Always smile, the apple's right here, and blend it up through the cheekbone to get it right. That way you're not pulling it down too low on your face. And that way you're smiling at yourself every morning in your bathroom, and you deserve to be smiled at, right? So, okay, now thank you for all the comments, ladies. Of course, as always, if you have questions, post them below, because we're going to obviously, if you have a question, I can guarantee you somebody else has the same question. So feel free to ask questions. I'll go back later and answer them. And I'll do a drawing later this week with all the comments. So feel free to keep commenting so that you get your names entered into the drawing. And we're going to, next week, we're going to be having our 4th masterclass is going to be on September 3rd. Can you believe it's going to be September already? Thursday night at 8 p.m. September 3rd, right here again. So you can join me live. It's going to be pro touch-ups. We'll talk all about how to do pro touch-ups in your makeup. And I just hope that this all really helps you understand how to give yourself a more detailed contour and highlight and in an easy way. Like right here, remember, this is where you contour right through here, right through here. You contour your hairline, or right here if you're more square shaped, under your jawline, right here. And then you highlight your cheekbones down the center of your nose. You contour down the center of each side of your nose. You highlight above your brow, under your brow, in between your brows, and your chin. So you're really highlighting more than you're contouring. So I hope you can see how it made my face look a lot more chiseled. It's always so interesting to me to see that, because when you do your own makeup, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't really see difference. But then you see a picture, or you like, for me, I'm seeing myself on camera. I'm like, oh, wow, it really does slims me out. Why am I not doing this every day? But hopefully it gives you some encouragement to try this on yourself and try it every day. The highlights and contours are only 14. So they last a long time. And the brow pencils and brow tints are also 14. So thank you, ladies, for joining me live tonight. If you have any questions, pop them below. And I'll see you right here next Thursday at 8 p.m. for Pro Touch-Ups. Have a great night, ladies.